Hello, everyone. RBG Kim here back with some more Emio, the Smiling Man. In the previous video, we were as Ayumi talked to some of the people at the school and met up with someone that she used to know from her past. And we had a review, and now we're in chapter 3, and now we're at Detective Kuze's old house because we're following up on Makoto missing. And now we're about to go to the retirement home where her grandfather is, or not grandfather, her grandmother is, and everything. So yes, and we also learned a little bit about her past as well. So, I don't know. It kind of seems like Makoto could be the one that's doing the current killings, but he wasn't the one that did the previous killings. So, off go. I'm off to Yukari relax, but thank you so much for the delicious eggplants. Oh yeah, so this guy gave me eggplants because Makoto loved eggplants. So, alrighty. 3 days ago at the Kuze house. Interesting. Are we going? Oh. Aww. Yukiroki relax. Finally, I'm here. Funny how far Toriyama's idea of a little way turned out to be. Meanwhile, I'm lugging enough eggplants to feed an army and hiking up a mountain. Wait, it says relax Yukioki village. It's not exactly what Toriyama said, but I must be in the right place. So Yoshikuze? I wonder what Detective Kuze's grandmother would be like.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi. The reception corner is quite grand. The receptionist is just looking at me like, what the fuck is with this guy? Old people. First old man? What about this old man? Do those folks live here? Seem happy. It's a staff member at the facility. Maybe a caregiver. Because his grandmother, yes, she supposedly lives in this retirement home. Retirement home she lives in is called Relax Yukiroki Village. Hello,
失礼ですが、どなたかのご家族の方ですか?
Well, not exactly.
ご家族ではないということですね。
I'd like to have a word with one of the residents here.
その方とはお約束をされているんでしょうか? 面会のご予約の記録はないようなのですが。
No, sorry, I don't have an appointment.
え? 大変申し訳ありません。当施設ではご面会のご予約のない方のお取り次ぎはできない規則となっておりまして。 大変申し訳ありませんが、お引き取り願えますでしょうか。
What?
申し訳ありませんが、お引き取りください。はい。
Oh, hi.
申し訳ありませんが、お引き取りください。
Someone's dead. There's suspicion me. I honestly don't blame her. Our older folks are chatting amicably. I guess you can't just show up for a visit unless you're family. Sorry I didn't make an appointment. I'll come back another time.
申し訳ありませんね。規則でして。今度いらっしゃるときは入居者の方にお知らせください。ご予約を承りますので。
Will do, ma'am. Be on my way. I should contact Yoshi and make an actual appointment for a visit. Wait, how'd I even do that? Cell phone's dead. There's no way for me to set up an appointment. Maybe I should just ask Detective Kuze for help. I'm thinking that's a terrible idea. Is Yoshi Kuze here? So lonely out here. Doesn't really have anything for me to look at specifically. If I can't come up with a way to make an appointment, I may not be able to talk to Mrs. Kuze at all. With that in mind, I need to try talking to the receptionist again.
あなた、帰ったんじゃなかったんですか？申し訳ありませんが、お引き取りください。
I know it's a rule, but I'm actually from the Ukatsu Detective Agency, and I have some questions for Yoshi Kuze.
探偵？
Yes, and I would have made an appointment, but I'm not acquainted with Mrs. Kuze. Is there anything we can do here? Should be able to explain the situation.
やはり規則は規則ですので、ご予約のない方をお取り次ぎすることはできかねます。
Can't make an appointment. Could you call Yoshi Kuze?
はあ？
You know, I'd just like to say hello real quick and then make an appointment. I think she'd be happy to see me.
それはできないってさっきから申し上げているでしょう。とにかくお引き取りください。
Yeah, this won't work. What should I do? I feel like I'm starting to make a scene. Oops, made eye contact.
どちら様？私に何かご用なのかしら？
Oh no, it's...
よしえさん、 どちらかわからない人とは。
Is this Miss Kuze? Excuse me, are you Yoshi Kuze?
ええ、そうよ。
よしえさんってば。
ほらごらんなさい。この子が悪い人に見えるかしら？
Ah, she seems kind.
それであなたは？
I'm from the Ugatsu Detective Agency, and I came here to speak with you.
まあ、探偵さん。わかりました。ご用件を聞かせてちょうだい。
よしえさん。
困らせてごめんなさいね。でもこの子とても困っているようだったから。
So sorry for the inconvenience.
よしえさんもこうおっしゃってるし、いいわ。特別にこれでご面会のご予約完了としましょう。
Yes, thank you.
では奥へどうぞ。
Oh yeah, we're in.
まあ、村からここまで歩いてきたの？大変だったでしょう。
Honestly, don't know why I expected her to be older. I don't know.
それで探偵さんはどんなご用でこちらに？
Flowers are beautiful. It's actually nice to spend some time in a peaceful place like this. She's definitely elderly, but sturdy. Raising those grandkids must have toughened her up. Yoshikuze, are you here?
何かしら？
Oh, she's here. No more loneliness. Oh my god. Alright. Let's ask her about Makoto. I hope this doesn't offend you, but I have to ask some tough questions. Can we talk about your grandson Makoto's disappearance 18 years ago?
どうしてお知りになりたいの？
I'm investigating a case that may have some connection.
誠の失踪が、そうですか。
Well, let's just start with anything you remember about it.
一つ聞かせてほしいんだけど。
Of course.
あなたが私を訪ねてくることを純子は知っているのかしら？
Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna be honest. I'm being honest. No. No, I haven't told her.
そう、やっぱり。言ったら純子が訪問を許さないわよね。
Exactly. She knows her granddaughter well.
わかりました。お役に立てるかはわかりませんが、お話ししますね。その日は18年前の7月1日、
Oh.
純子の
Missing on her
9つの
birthday.
誕生
Huh?
日でした。大したことはしてやれませんが、主人と私は純子を祝ってやるために買い出しに出かけていました。私たちついつい張り切りすぎちゃって買い物の時間が長くなってしまったんでしょうね。
I mean, it happens.
家に着いた頃には夜の7時を回っていました。なのに 家の明かりがついていなかったんです。
純子、誠、いるの？
どうしたの？何
Makoto?
かあったの？
Oh.
茶の間ではうつろな目をした誠が座り込んでいました。その周りには
The flowers.
紫色の花が散らばっていました。
Purple flower petals?
何事かと語りかけても押し黙ったまま何も答えない誠に主人が
「おい、純子がどこにもあらんぞ。誠、純子はどこじゃ。おい、誠。
Makoto!
その言葉を聞いた誠はすごい勢いで表へ飛び出していったんです。
Well, if I'm being honest, I'm saying this mostly because of the name of the chapter. The purple flower petals definitely have some significance as to maybe what's going on.
わけがわからないまま私たちはひとまず2人の帰りを待つことにしました。けれどあの子たちはなかなか帰ってきませんでした。9時を過ぎ私たちは警察に連絡しました。その直後玄関の引き戸が開く音がしたんです。よかった、2人が帰ってきたと思い、
But only one came back.
ほっとした私たちは慌てて玄関まで2人を出迎えに行きました。でもそこにいたのは純子だけでした。泣きながら純子が一人で帰ってきたんです。誠と一緒じゃないのと聞いても純子はただ泣くばかりで何も答えません。しばらくして到着した警察の方々が問いかけてもやはり純子は何も話そうとはしませんでした。その夜私たちは懸命に誠を探しました。ご近所の皆さんも警察に協力して村中を探してくださいましたが結局誠は見つかりませんでした。あの日以来誠は私たちの前から姿を消したままなんです。
Oh. Let's look at the notebook. Makoto disappeared on July 1st, 18 years ago, the same day as Junko's birthday. Yoshi found him the day sitting and staring blankly in the dark tea room. Purple flowers were scattered around him. Hearing his grandfather say that Junko wasn't home, Makoto rushed outside. The village searched for him, but to no avail. The retirement home she lives in is called Relax Yukariko Village. I think probably what only updated was the picture. What in the world happened to Makoto? Everybody I spoke with said that Makoto and Junko were very close as brother and sister. So what could have happened that day to separate such tight-knit siblings? she looking at my plastic bag? Not sure what she's seen about the bag.
あなたが持ってきたそれって。
Oh, this? One of the villagers gave it to me.
そう。
そうですね。
あの子たちはナスが大好きだったんですよ。特に誠の方が。
That's what I heard.
ちょっと昔話に付き合ってもらっていいかしら。
Of course. I'd love to, please.
誠はおとなしくて素直な、とても心の優しい男の子だったの。のんびり屋さんの誠は友達からからかわれてもニコニコするだけで、怒ったりすることはなかったわね。とても優しいお兄ちゃんだったの。しっかり者の純子は何を言われても怒らない兄が歯がゆいのか、しょっちゅう誠の代わりに怒っていたの。それでいつもこう言うの。お兄ちゃんは私がいなきゃダメなの。私がお兄ちゃんを守ってあげるのってね。お兄ちゃんを守るんだっていつも言ってたわ。いつも小さい妹にやり込められてるお兄ちゃんだったけど、誠はそんな純子が可愛くて仕方なかったの。きっと幼い純子にも分かっていたでしょう。普段は頼りなく見えるお兄ちゃんに、いつも自分が守られているんだって。
So weird. Is this
両親を事故で亡くした当時、
one of those things where I gotta go back and forth
まだ
between the
小
two?
さかった純子は村に来てからもしばらくは泣いてばかりでした。親に甘えたい盛りの子供にとってどれだけつらかったことか。そんな妹を兄の誠は言葉をかけるでもなく微笑みながらただ見守るのが常でした。お兄ちゃんは悲しくないのって時々純子が怒っていました。決まって誠は、純子がいるから俺は寂しくない、だから悲しくないよっていつもそう言っていたのよ。
Well, I guess we're done with Junko. Talk more about Makoto. Okay, observations.
純子が眠った後、一人で誠が泣いていたことにはもちろん気づいていました。でも私たちの前ではそんな素振りを見せず、いつもニコニコしていたのよ。そんな誠の心が純子を癒し育んでくれました。純子だけではなく私たち家族にとって誠はかけがえのない存在だったの。
So young Detective Kusa and her brother Makoto had a strong bond as children. Sounds like they were as happy as brother and sisters can be, as a brother and sister can be. So what could have happened between them that day 18 years ago? A piece of the puzzle is still missing. Must have been something to trigger their actions that day.
何かしら。
Could have happened to them. According to her grandmother, Junko is really a sweetheart underneath her strong and severe counterstance. Rushed out. He was quiet and gentle with an honest personality, an easygoing person who was sad, who said to never get angry. Purple flowers. Purple flowers.
あなた、
Yes?
ナスの花って見たことあるかしら？
I don't know. I don't think so, no. What else kind of flower petals she mentioned could have been?
ナスはね、とてもきれいな紫色の花をつけるのよ。
Mm-hmm.
純子が一番好きな紫色の。実は誠がいなくなった夜、ようやく落ち着いた純子が話してくれたんです。私たちがいない時に何があったのか、どうして部屋にナスの花が散らばっていたのか。
Ah, there we go.
当時私たち夫婦は家庭菜園を趣味にしていてね、よく食卓に育てた野菜を並べていたの。そうしたらおいしいおいしいって食べているうちに興味を持ったのか、純子が私もお野菜育てたいって言い始めたの。
Aw, that's always
い
cute.
ろんなお野菜や果物があるけど、純子は何が作りたいと聞いたら、
This actually kind of brings me back to my own grandmother. She had a garden in the back of her house, and every now and then I go when if ever I was visiting, or she just called my parents' place to be like, hey, can the grandkids come and help pick out or whatever. We always picked. I did enjoy helping her in the garden. I don't think I really ate the only things she really grew were like peas and pea pods. But I don't think I was really a big fan of them. But I did like helping out with them and such. So that kind of makes me miss my grandma that way, hearing this and all that stuff. So yeah.
お兄ちゃんが大好きなナスって言ってね。
Eggplants.
お兄ちゃんのお誕生日はそれでお祝いするから内緒にしてねって。
Yeah, I don't mind eggplants. I actually tried to make
もう
eggplant
可愛ら
parmesan,
し
but
くて
did not go
可愛
well.
らしくて。ナスなら小さな純子でもできると考えた私たちは、虫が苦手な誠があまり立ち入らない裏庭でこっそり育てることにしました。
Oh. So was she mad at him? Because he picked them as flower. I don't know. Do eggplant flowers come from eggplants? I don't know. We'll see.
純
We'll
子と
learn
誠
together.
の誕生月の7月に収穫ができるように
Both their birthdays
種
are
を
in
まいた
July.
後、純子は熱心にお世話をしてね、大きく大きくおいしくなれって一生懸命で、純子が愛情を注いだこともあってか、ナスは順調に育ち、ある朝 小さな花をいくつも咲かせたの。純子は大喜びで、いつ取れるいつ取れるって何度も聞いてきたわ。
Yep.
これなら
That's what it was.
誠のお誕生日あたりになりそうねと教えると
That's
笑
what it
顔で
was.
飛び跳ねてね。
He probably saw the eggplant flowers, not knowing they were actually for the eggplants, and he picked them to give to her for her birthday. But they were for, you know, I'm assuming because he did that, the eggplants were now not going to grow, and she was upset. So, and that's why he was upset and all that stuff.
花が咲いたその日が自分の誕生日だってことも忘れて。
Yeah.
そんな純子が学校から帰ってきたその時のことです。
純子、おかえり。今日は純子にプレゼントがあるぞ。
プレゼント？
じゃーん、純子の好きな紫色の花だ。お誕生日おめでと
お兄ちゃん、それ？
う。大したものはあげられないけど、兄ちゃんからのプレゼントだよ。
Yeah.
裏庭で見つけたんだ。いっぱい咲いててさ、綺麗だろ。
Yeah.
誠も純子を喜ばせたい一心だったんでしょうね。でもその花は
その花はナスの。お兄ちゃんのバカ！それは純子が育ててたナスの花なんだよ。お兄ちゃんの誕生日プレゼントにって純子が大切に育ててたのに。
え？
お兄ちゃんなんか大嫌い！もう知らない！どっかに行っちゃえばいいのに！
That would do it.
純子。
これが私が純子から聞いた話です。
So that's what happened 18 years ago. It must have been traumatizing. June could have lost her brother like that after such an intense fight. I'm sure she took it hard. She probably blamed herself. Poor Makoto. To have upset his sister so much, he only ever wanted to make her happy. The whole incident sounds like it was a shock. An irony. Their love for each other is what ultimately tore them apart. It's so sad.
その後純子は自分のせいだ自分のせいだってワンワン泣いてひどく落ち込んでしまって、なんとか元気づけられる方法はないかといろいろ考えてね。何の慰めにもならないかもしれないけど、部屋に散らばったナスの花を使って押し花のしおりを作ったの。
Aw. Flower presents always nice.
大丈夫よ。これをお守りにしてみんなで持っていれば必ず誠は帰ってくるからって言い聞かせてね。それから私たち、
Almost like a mantra.
特に純子はナスの押し花のしおりを肌身離さず持っているのよ。
よしえさん、もうすぐ夕食の時間ですよ。
ほら、もうそんな時間。おしゃべりしているとあっという間ね。
I've heard lots of stories. It's probably time to head out.
私から話せるのはこれくらいね。 少しは役に立ったかしら。
Yes, I mean,
ん
really, you shared much more than I expected.
あらそう。純子に怒られちゃうかしらね。
Well, we'll just keep this meeting between the two of us. Uh-oh.
大丈夫。純子には言わないわよ。
She gets it. I think it's time for me to go.
おしゃべりしてるとあっという間ね。何かしら。
According to grandmother, her favorite color is purple. On her 9th birthday, Junko had a fight with her older brother and then ran out of the house. The fight started because her brother had plucked some flowers from eggplants that she was raising for him. She still carries a bookmark containing a pressed eggplant flower that her grandmother Yoshi made with her. He's quiet and gentle with an honest personality, an easygoing person who was never said to get angry. Siblings had been in a fight after Makoto picked eggplant flowers from the plants she had been raising for him. She carries the same type of bookmark with a pressed eggplant flower that Junko does. I don't think... I was thinking at first, but I don't know how he would learn about them. Unless he saw it happen. Because I think I mentioned this at the beginning of this video, how or maybe even the previous video. Either way, I know I mentioned it at some point during this series. I mentioned how I was like, there's a possibility that Makoto is the current Smiling Man killer right now. What his motivation would be, don't know yet. But after hearing that story, who knows? I mean, it could still be the case. Because you never... I can't really... I think this game's rated T for teen, or is it rated M for mature? I can't remember. I'd have to look at the box. Not the box, the game case. But I don't know. There's a part of me that's thinking that could still be the case. Is he is actually the current Smiling Man killer. And how he learned about the previous ones, I'm not entirely sure. But why he would do it and why, he'd stay away from the family, who knows? Thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today. I haven't overstayed.
久しぶりに純子や誠の話ができて楽しかったわ。こちらこそありがとうね。探偵さん。
I'm actually curious if I'm going to swap back to Ayumi after this.
ナスの花言葉って知ってるかしら。
No, I'm afraid I don't.
つつましい幸福、真実、そして希望なんですって。
Happiness, truth, and hope. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing.
純子が教えてくれたのよ。この押し花のしおりを持っていれば、いつかきっと誠が帰ってくる。純子も私もそう信じているの。ナスを持った探偵さんが誠の話を聞きに来た。これも何かのご縁なのかしらね。
It is kind of weird how, and this is honestly how I believe it's probably going to turn this way because and it makes sense to have it being presented this way for this game, is it feels a little weird that my character is the one kind of trying to figure out and follow stuff up about the incident that happened 18 years ago. Granted, he was somewhat talking about we were talking about the original case as well early on, but now our focus has somewhat shifted to the case 18 years ago. Well, Ayumi has seemed to always been focusing on the current case, and our boss has been just following the urban legend, not really doing anything else. But again, I don't know, because this is the first one of these games I played. I've never played the other two games or any other games, if there were more than two that came out before this. I know there was the first two that got remade. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. So, I don't know. That's just how it feels. Not that it feels, because it makes sense in the context of everything. It's like you need to learn about this case that happened 18 years ago as well to see if there's a connection. So I understand why they're doing it this way. It's just maybe, I don't know. It's just not that there's anything wrong with my character being the one to do this and and Ayumi being the one to focus on the current case, but oh well.
そう思ってあなたには包み隠さず話そうと思ったの。なぜかしら。あなたなら純子と誠を引き合わせてくれるような気がするわ。
Let's just hope it's under good circumstances and not because he's a killer.
また何かあればいつでもいらしてちょうだいね。
Thank you. I will. I'll get going now. Oh, we did not swap perspectives. I thought we would go back to kind of do and maybe we will still. But I thought we were gonna go back to her and be like, okay, here's what I found out type thing. So, yeah. Okay. Hello, I'm back. Wait, what? Thanks for gee, that went by fucking quick. Thanks for all your hard work today. Let's get after it again tomorrow, Ayumi. Has Yumi gone home already? Well, it's late. I should probably wrap up today's investigation. You should probably also charge your fucking phone, you idiot. Ya fucking moron. So Usagi and Yumi aren't here. There's no one to ask. I haven't read any of the books that Mr. Usagi has recommended. Utsugi. Alright, I need to charge this thing. Here we go, but I guess it'll be a while before I can use it. Let's summarize today's investigation. She says Junko taught her that eggplant flowers symbolize happiness, truth, and hope. Detective Kuze and her brother lost their parents at a young age and were raised by grandparents. Grandmother, Yoshi, helped make sure that they were raised in a loving environment in the village. Sounds like they formed a close and supportive family. But something terrible happened on Junko's ninth birthday. Junko ran out of the house in tears because Makoto picked the eggplant flowers. Yes, she was upset because she had been carefully growing the eggplants for him. When he realized that he had ruined the surprise gift of eggplants that Junko had been growing, Koto was stunned and didn't notice that Junko had run off. Eventually, he realized that she was gone, so he left home in search of his sister. And he never returned. When Junko returned, still in tears, she said she thought it was her fault Makoto was gone. I'm still missing details about what happened while they were away, and why she returned alone. If I can reveal a bit more of this puzzle, I think I'll have to suck it up and speak with Detective Kuze herself. Of course, even if I have the courage, I doubt she'd be willing to give me the whole story. Right after the fact, Junko was obviously upset, and she tried to cheer her up. And she said that they crafted something together, right? What was it that they made? Select the keywords from your notebook that I believe to be the correct answer. Okay, well, where's... No. Yes, bookmarks with pressed eggplant flowers. It sounds like both Detective Kusa and Yoshi each still carry one of the bookmarks around with them. And Yoshi told me that eggplant flowers represent happiness, truth, and hope. Keeping that symbolism in mind, what if Junko was inspired to become a detective because she believed her brother was still out there? Eventually, Junko grew up and moved away. A few years later, after Yoshi's husband passed, and she moved into a retirement home called Relax Yukariko Village. So for now, Kuze family home is vacant, but the house will be demolished soon. Yes, that's right. And Detective Kuze stopped by recently for a final check of sorts. Must have been 3 days ago, or one day before Isuki Saki's body was found. Wait, didn't Detective Kuze tell the neighbor that she had to get going because she'd be working early the next morning? But does that mean she's such a good detective that she knew there'd be a murder? Oh, that'd be crazy. I think I did pretty well today, if I say so myself. I feel like patting myself on the back. Now I need to decide on a plan for tomorrow. Too tired right now. Let's talk with Ayumi first thing in the morning to decide. Oh boy. This is where the fun begins. A suspect. Ooh, we're gonna get ourselves our first suspect. Good morning. Sorry I'm late. Yumi's not even here. She's out investigating. Oh. She answered my phone. Oh, hi. Yes, hello.
昨日は遅かったみたいね。
Was, yeah. I learned quite a bit.
そうなんだ。すごく気になるわ。
That's great, because I can't wait to tell you all about it. Where are you?
ごめんなさい。実は私、午後から福山先輩と会うことになってるの。
Mr. Fukuyama. Oh, right.
先輩、学校でいろいろと話を聞いてくれるって言ってたから。何か有力な手がかりがあるのかも。期待しちゃうわね。
Yeah, I hear you.
あなたは今日どんな調査をするの？
I think I'll go to the library archives and look up how they cover those murders 18 years ago.
わかったわ。気をつけて行ってきてね。じゃあね。
Bye bye. Thanks, Ayumi. You stay safe too. Oh, and say hello to Mr. Fukuyama for... Oh, she hung up. Why would she say hello to someone who you don't even know? He doesn't know you. Why would you say that? Let's go to the library. Let's go to the library. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. I'm off. I say to the empty room. But I say it just to make sure they know that they're appreciated. The city library! I'd like to head in and start investigating as soon as possible, but probably ought to have a plan. Murders were 18 years ago, so I'm sure I'll have to do some digging. Doesn't make sense to dive in without a plan. Yes, that's right. I should check with Mr. Usagi to see if he has any advice. It's just nice to have the cell phone. Do you have a well, you were just using it, so it should be charged. Doshita. So I'm about to go into the library to see what I can find about the case from 18 years ago. But I thought I'd check with you first to see if you had any advice for researching or anything to avoid.
そうだな。
そうだな。
連続事件の場合、最初の事件に注目するべきだ。すべてはそこから始まったんだからね。事件が起きた年全体の報じられ方もざっとでいいので見ておいた方がいいだろう。それから資料を見てから自分なりに考えることも当然重要になる。気になる部分や引っかかることがあるときは重点的に調べることをお勧めするよ。18年前に起きたことの一つ一つがいずれはつながることだろう。誠さんの失踪も無関係ではない。僕はそう考えているんだ。そしてその延長線上に佐々木英介の事件の真相が見えてくるんじゃないかな。
Makes sense. Thank you, sir.
今回の事件はきっとエミオという都市伝説のルーツに帰着するだろう。そう信じて調査をしているんだ。事務所をほったらかしにして申し訳ないとは思っているよ。
No problem at all, sir. You mean I can take care of things?
優秀な助手たちがいて頼もしい限りだ。頼んだよ。
Thank you, sir. I'll be off now. Talking to Sugi was always inspirational. I've got to live up to it. A lot of bicycles here. Looks like there's an upcoming event at the library. Let's see. Who's the biggest bookworm? Let's all borrow plenty of books and find out. Wow, if you borrow more than 50 books this month, you'll be entered to win a gift card for more books. It's a box for returning books to the library. You can even use it after hours, which is always the nice thing about it. No one to ask. No one nearby. Nothing at all. Alright, let's go inside. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Okay, the game is rated M for mature, which I guess makes sense, you know. Since it is about a, you know, just by the, you know, just the themes around it all. Let's see. I'm guessing newspaper archives will be the best source of information on older cases. have a year's worth of papers from 18 years ago to get started on. They're heavy. Anyways, I'll stop lying for now and check them out. Got a year's worth of newspaper clippings. It's a ton of materials. Let's look through what I found. Probably shouldn't make phone calls in the library. I've already discussed this with Usagi. Let's review the documents. Should try to be quiet in the library. Alright. So newspaper clippings from January and February of 18 years ago. Let's see, when was the first serial murder? Date on this article about the cases. I found it. Looks like the first murder was committed in February of that year. A 17-year-old named Ayaka Hashizumi was found at the beach at Kofuko City, strangled. Her house had burned down just the day before, and her father's body was found in the wreckage. Oh my god. What the fuck? Initial reports suggest that the father may have killed her and then himself. Later reports pointed to the possibility that a third party may have killed both father and child. Also, the article mentions a missing person who was reported to be close to the girl. There's nothing at all at these articles about police finding a paper bag on the head of the victim. Oh, no shit! What caused the fire? And why wasn't Ayaka's father able to escape? What about that missing person? There are a lot of missing pieces in the first case for sure. Like not saying the fucking name of the missing person! I'm sorry, that's still gonna be pissing me off the entire time. Why didn't we ask what the name of this missing person was? These are newspaper clippings from March and April of 18 years ago. Seems there are occasional follow-up articles after the February crime, but not much coverage overall. There isn't any new information that can help me. These are newspaper clippings from May and June of 18 years ago. Looks like the second murder took place in May, about 3 months after the first. Now let's dive into the details about the second case. Here we go. Okay, hold on. So the first one happened in February, March, April, and May. So yeah, 3 months after. June, July. Okay. So the next one must have happened in either June or July, because they ended after July. Because I was thinking like, oh, maybe they were 3 months apart each. Like that'd be a weird pattern, but maybe not. Victim was a 15-year-old girl named Saiko Tayaki. Because the second victim was also a young girl who was strangled in Kofuko City. The police announced early on that both crimes may have been committed by the same person. Still, they never did mention the detail about the paper bag. According to a neighbor of the second victim, the young girl in question came from a troubled home and was often seen crying alone at night. The possibility of a serial killer seems to have sparked more newspaper coverage at the time. And the third incident happened in June. Oh, there you go. Third one happened in June. Third incident occurred in June. Here's the article about it. The third victim was Mika Ione, a 17-year-old girl, another teen girl, just like the first two. Okay, why the fuck? How old was the first girl? Oh, the second one was 15. The first one was 17. First one was 17. Yeah. So it was a 17, a 15, and 17-year-old. Wait, she was 15, right? Just want to make sure. Yeah. So it was a 17, 15, 17. Why the fuck? I believe he said 13 through 19-year-olds. Why the fuck they say that if there's only 3? He should have said from 15 to 17 because there was no one any younger or older. So, I don't know. She reportedly had a falling out with friends that day and left her school in tears. However, it seems she didn't go straight home. Instead, she must have been attacked. is this a... So there was like a little opening that happened, you know, after the prologue. Is this the girl there? Because that kind of looks like the park that we saw in that opening there. So, their victim was also from Kofuko City and was strangled in the same way as the first two victims. The article does mention the possibility of all three cases being connected by a common killer. Let's see what they say about the paper bag, which is nothing! Still a mention of it. Contains newspaper clippings about the same with their murders. Okay. Okay, let's look at my notebook. Let's just see what we got there. Ayaka Azizumi, 17-year-old at the time, factory worker. First victim of the serial girl murder spree 18 years ago. She was strangled to death using bare hands. She was killed 18 years ago in February. Her body was found in the beach of Kofuko City. The day before her body was found, her home was burned down and remains that seemed to be her father's were discovered. At the time, police considered the possibility of a murder-suicide among other scenarios. Around the same time, one of her acquaintances disappeared. Police didn't release the details that she was found with a paper bag on her head to the newspapers. No shit! So why do you keep asking surprised that they didn't do it? Saiko Tagaki, 15-year-old at the time. The second victim of the serial girl murder spree 18 years ago was strangled to death using bare hands. She was killed 18 years ago in May. Like the first victim, she was killed in Kofuko City. Police didn't release the details that she was found with a paper bag on her head to the newspaper. It seemed that there was some turmoil at home, and she was often spotted crying alone. Mika Inone, 17 years old at the time. The third victim of the serial girl murder spree 18 years ago. She was strangled to death using bare hands. She killed 18 years ago in June. She lived in Kofuko City. Mika had a conflict with some of her friends that left school in tears. It seems she was attacked on her way home. Police didn't release the details yet about the paper bag. Ayaka's father. Ayaka Haizami's father. He died in a fire in the home the same day that Ayaka was killed. Alright, so gotta look through it all. Gotta look through it all. Look through it all. Look through it all. So July is where we'll probably hear about the missing kid. So newspaper clippings from July and August of 18 years ago. Seems like the serial girl murders during a lot of coverage. There were articles every day. Still, despite all the ink spilled, I'm not seeing many details that might help me actually solve this case. Shouldn't you mention they had nothing about Makoto missing? Newspaper clippings from September and October of 18 years ago. How many articles reporting on the serial girl murderers? Yeah, there's nothing new to report by that time. These are newspaper clippings from November and December of 18 years ago. Not seeing much coverage of the serial girl murders at this point. Just a few short mentions, typically blurbs off to the side. If there's no new information, there wouldn't have been much of the media to report on. Okay, I've gone through a year's worth of newspaper clippings. I'm thinking about it. I wonder if there's any article on Makoto's disappearance. Yeah, no shit. Makoto disappeared in July. Let's take another look at the clippings from July and August. Is there anything on Makoto? Here we go. It's a snippet of an article. 14-year-old boy reported missing from Yukariko village. Everyone in the village searched through the night, but the boy remains missing. Although the timing was curious, no one suggested a connection to the serial girl murders. That said, both Mr. Usagi and Inspector Kamamata seemed to suspect that there was a connection. We've got to get to the bottom of this. Gone through a year's worth of newspaper clippings. Here's what I've learned so far. The police announced that the serial girl murders were most likely committed by a single killer. Although it was never mentioned, each of the victims was found with a paper bag on their head. With that information, it seems obvious. Anyway, after the second murder, the first case came back into the spotlight. And while media interest in serial girl murders remained high for a while, It tapered off around August, probably because there were no new leads or information. Also, no new victims, thankfully. If you don't count Makoto's disappearance. Now, why is that? I read a lot about the murders from 18 years ago, but now I'll focus on some key parts. I think the first case is critical to the investigation. Mr. Sagi thinks so too, as he told me to focus on it. First case did really catch my attention. It's the most curious of the three. Should investigate a bit more thoroughly. The victim in the first case was Ayaka Hazizume, a 17-year-old girl. She was found the morning of February 16th in a secluded beach area of Kofuku City. A local fisherman found the body. He had an airtight alibi and was immediately ruled out as a suspect. Forensics reported the cause of death as strangulation with bare hands or manual strangulation. Time of death was the night before. It turns out that Akane had quit her job at a local factory the same day she died. However, her supervisor at the factory reported that she left on good terms and had already given notice. All that said, I have a few major concerns with the facts of the case. It related to two key people involved who had connections to Ayaka. One of the key figures was Manabu Hazizume, Ayaka's father. He and Ayaka lived together in Kofuku City. However, their house was destroyed in a fire the night before Ayaka was found dead. A body was recovered in the ruins. It was believed to be Ayaka's father. Some speculated that the father could have killed Ayaka before returning home and killing himself. However, that theory didn't necessarily hold up to scrutiny, and what's more, the second and third murders a few months later further complicated the situation. Because even if Ayaka's father was guilty, he died in the fire. He couldn't have killed others. Last but not least, the information about the paper bag was never made public, which strongly implies that all the victims were killed by the same person. Could it have been the other key person? The other key person in the case never had their name reported by the media. Motherfucker. The person in question was a young man who was often seen with Ayaka before her death. He hadn't been seen since she died. When his apartment was searched, the police found a disturbing amount of blood. Obviously, the police strongly suspected him and went to great lengths to track him down. But he was never found. This must have been the same person that Inspector Kamado was talking about. Can we get this motherfucker's name? On the day of the first victim's body was found, he disappeared. Although he was one of the key people in Ayaka Haizumi's case, his name was never released. Why? His whereabouts remain unknown since the day that Ayaka died. There have been no sightings or reports on him. His disappearance wasn't a big story at the time. The article noted no suspected connection to serial girl murders. Her body was found days before. At the time, police considered the possibility. Around the same time, one of her coins disappeared. Didn't release details. Fisherman found her body, but he had an airtight alibi and was immediately dismissed as a suspect. Ayaka had just quit her job at a local factory on the day she died. However, she left on good terms with her employer. There were two key suspects in the case: her father, Manabu Haizumi, and the man who went missing. It was just her and her father living together at the time. He and Ayaka lived by themselves. Did he kill Ayaka and then commit suicide after dumping the body? And all the circumstances add up. It's entirely possible that Akane's murder and the home fire were unrelated, especially considering that all the victims were young girls of about the same age. The house fire falls outside the category, and the persistence of the paper bag points to a serial killer. I wonder if the police had the same idea. Can't find any articles speculating along those lines, however. Okay, let's review the information I've gathered so far. The first murder was 18 years ago, and the first victim was a girl named First murder was 18 years ago, and the first victim was a girl named Ayaka Hashizume. At the time of the first case, there were two persons of interest. The first one was her father. First one was Manube Hashizume, Ayaka's father. The second one was a man who was presumed missing. At the beginning, some speculated that Ayaka's father was the killer in the murder-suicide situation. The day before Ayaka's body was found, her father died in a house fire. I'm sure fire probably would have worked fine too, but house fire. Yes, that's right. Father was presumably killed by the fire that burned down his house. Meanwhile, regarding the missing man, was he another victim, or could he have been the killer? It seemed as though the police considered both possibilities. He disappeared the same day that Ayaka was killed. There was a disturbing amount of blood found in his home. Blood. Yes, his home was drenched in a massive amount of blood. Inspector Kamada said that it would have taken devastating injuries to produce that much blood. So it's possible that he simply died. Well, here's the thing. If they thought that was Ayaka's blood, I guess there's... I'm not entirely sure about how blood works in a dead body. I guess, but if she died literally the day before, like, if her death wasn't that long between her dying and then her body being found, you would suspect that there would be, you know, still traces of blood inside her, albeit cold or whatever. Could you tell that a body loses could you tell if a dead body has lost a significant amount of blood, depending on like when they were found, to like somewhat judge how they were or when they were killed? So, but I guess you wouldn't really know. Alright, I think I made good progress today. I think that's about all that I can determine from my research so far. I'm glad I talked to Mr. Tsagi first. His advice helped me find the right path. But ultimately, the serial murders remain unsolved. Police never found any conclusive evidence. Is there still a suspect out there that was never identified in the previous investigations? Now I think more about the second and third victims. There was a common factor I hadn't considered. They were both seeing crime before they were killed. A girl crying.
Emio は笑顔が描かれた紙袋をかぶって泣いている女の子の前に現れ、
What if the first victim, Hayaka Hazume, was also crying before she was killed? If there was cause to suspect her father killed her, maybe there was some deep trouble at home. Oh, it's getting late and I haven't eaten. I should take care of myself. Planet Coffee. Planet Coffee.
先輩、早速連絡していただいてありがとうございます。
水臭いことを言うなよ、立花。俺は後輩のために当然のことをしているまでだ。
ありがとうございます。いい先輩で、私嬉しいです。
そうか、そうなんだな、立花。いい先輩で、俺もよかったよ。それに俺だって佐々木の事件の真相を知りたいんだ。 だから立花に協力したい。
You seem a little too eager, but
いや、それ以前に一人の人間として。
先輩、ご協力に感謝します。
Yeah, I said before, I'll say again, you seem way too eager to be like helping me. But I mean, I guess that's fine. Somewhat. Okay. You know what? Looking at the length of the game here. Or not length of the game. Looking at the length of the video here. I think this is probably a good spot to end this part of Let's Play Emio the Smiley Man. In the next part, guys, we will talk to Mr. Fukuoka, or whatever his name is, Futanabe. Futanabe, I think that's what it is. Talk to Mr. Futanabe, see what he knows, and learn anything else that we can. And obviously, we'll have some other stuff to do as well, because we won't be just talking to him, most likely. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Guys, if you liked the video, please give that like button a click. And comment down below what you like about the video, didn't like about the video. And let me know, guys, what you think of the story. Like, we finally learned about the first three, technically the first three, I guess you could say. We finally learned about the 3 murders that happened 18 years ago. And we actually heard the story about what happened to Makoto from Junko and Makoto's grandmother as well. Let me know what you guys thought about, you know, finally learning some stuff like that, because that's very helpful as well. And yeah, it's nice that we're actually getting some backstory on Junko, if I'm being honest, because I actually do like her and I understand her character even more now. So this is a really interesting game. This is, I mean, this is definitely a visual novel like game. Like I said before, like this is very Ace Attorney like and everything. So I am very excited to keep playing and learning more about the truth of this game and everything, because yeah, I'm very excited, very interesting, and it does make me want to pick up the other 2 games, and hopefully they're just as good as these are, as this one is. So yeah, let me know how you guys feel about it. And as always, guys, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a beat, and subscribe to my main channel too. That's in the description below. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both my main Twitter, the RBG Kim Kid Twitter, are in there too. Thank you all so much for watching once again. And I will see you all next time.